Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Have I ever told you you look beautiful on Tuesdays?
No.
Wednesdays and Mondays and every other day.
Thank you.
She's my beautiful bride. I've got a phone call to place in a little while. We're going to call and talk to her dad for a thing called Tuesdays with Charlie. We do that every week, and it's a lot of fun. I do have a quote for you for today. Do you like the quote of the day, this little thing that I do?
Yeah, I do.
Is this one of your favorite things, or are you, not so much? Okay.
It's fine. It's good.
I kind of like it. This one is from James Dyson. I think he invented the vacuum cleaner.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. That's a
Not
completely
the
different
vacuum cleaner.
No,
but
it's a different guy. What I've learned from running is that the time to push hard is when you're hurting like crazy and you want to give up. Success is often just around the corner. I agree 100%, Mr. Dyson. It is amazing how many people give up right before the finish line. I'm like, if you would have just kept going, you would have won. But instead, you gave up like when you could literally see the finish line. So hang in there. Keep on running. It's worth it. This has been your quote of the day from James Dyson. We get a lot of great stuff on the way.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Tuesday, the 8th day of May. It is National Coconut Cream Pie Day. I'm celebrating for sure.
You love coconut cream
I even
pie.
have a place that has my favorites, so I know where I'm going today to have some coconut cream pie. It's also National Have a Coke Day. I'm celebrating with my cream pie.
I like Coke, too.
I don't know if would those two things go well together, though? Cream pie and a
think
Coke?
so.
National Student Nurse Day today, and National Teacher Appreciation Day. You know when they're really appreciated is like a couple weeks from now when school is done. It's funny how when you're in class, you don't appreciate the teachers nearly as much as you do later when you're like, she was really a good teacher, or he was really a good teacher. I should have maybe told them that during school, like when I was driving them crazy all the time. So if you have a teacher, appreciate them while you have them. This has been a couple of fun things to celebrate today on this special day. It is Tuesday, the 8th day of May.
John and Heidi.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-818-3967. 800-818-3967. That's 800-818-3967. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs, but first, take a listen to this. It says here, a study published in the Wall Street Journal found that combat training is likely causing brain injuries to our troops. That's not good. Seems just the training is causing brain injuries?
Huh.
So I wonder what they're doing during the training. I've got a link to the story if you want to read all about it. That's from the Wall Street Journal. Again, they found combat training is likely causing brain injuries to our troops. Be nice to the troops.
Absolutely.
These people
be nice
put
to the
their
troops.
neck on the line for you, so be appreciative and be nice. And if you happen to be a man or a woman who served our country, thank you for your service.
And talk about a group of people who don't make what they deserve to earn.
Exactly. They all could use a raise.
Absolutely.
That would be fabulous.
A huge one.
All right. Coming up, we have your brain on drugs. And it could have been fake news or Florida, but it's not fake news. It's real news. And it's on the way.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is Your Brain on Drugs. Starts out like this. A Florida man. See, this could have been used later in the show.
Yeah.
For those of you who never listen later in the show, you should, because we have a segment called Fake News or Florida. And it's always either a real story like this one that happened in Florida or fake news that I made up that sounds like something that might have happened in Florida,
Okay.
and Heidi has to guess. But this is real news. Florida man, 32-year-old Lester Roy Wagner, told deputies that the codeine and morphine powder found in his vehicle was nothing more than a pre-workout he uses for exercising.
Sure.
Yeah, sure it is.
Sure.
They found it in his Honda Odyssey. He was in front of an abandoned business at 4 a.m. How early do you do your pre-workouts? I immediately noticed that Wagner was sweating profusely, looking around rapidly, digging into his pockets, and speaking quickly, which is an indication to me that he was nervous. Yeah, I think so. They looked in the vehicle and they found a syringe and a silver spoon along with a small amount of marijuana, also a container of blue powder mixed in with brownish gray powder, and a plastic scooper. The powder tested positive for the presence of codeine and morphine. Then I asked what was in the container. He said, he said, pre-workout that I use. Then I showed him my field testing kit, and that's when he said, oh, shucks. No, he didn't really do it. I added that part. He was adamant that, no, that's just a pre-workout. I don't know what the brand is. I don't know where I bought it, but it's just a pre-workout. He was charged with felony traffic of a controlled substance. And now my favorite part. Heidi, this is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen. Kathy Griffin is gripping to any shred of spotlight she can get into. She told Wendy Williams that Anderson Cooper would never apologize for firing her from CNN. Okay, I remember when you apologized for something you did, then you took back the apology. So does it matter if he apologizes? Because then he could just take it back, right? If he doesn't mean it and stuff. Okay, moving on. Son of Bigfoot debuted at the box office over the weekend.
Son of Bigfoot.
I don't know what this is.
I haven't
There's
heard
a
anything
link.
about this one.
I haven't either. I've seen nothing, so someone's going to have to clue me in. There is a link. Maybe I'll click on it and check it out.
Maybe we won't.
You want to go to the movies, Heidi?
No.
Okay. And finally, Sex and the City star Sarah Jessica Parker bought a Cosmo magazine for a French... I'm sorry, not a Cosmo magazine, a Cosmo drink. That makes more sense.
Okay.
For a French man who told her he was a huge fan of her show. So he said, I'm a huge fan. She's like, oh, that's great.
Here's a drink.
Have a drink. I'm going to leave now. Give this man a drink. Far, far away
How
from
is
me.
that news?
I don't know.
Why is that news? That is
Hey,
ridiculous.
This is breaking news, Heidi.
Uh-huh.
This is top story kind of stuff when I can't find anything
Somebody
else to talk
bought
about.
someone around.
Yes. So you bought a drink.
And in other news,
That's all we have. There is no other news. This has been Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
John and Heidi.
Now your scoop of the day, brought to you by 49bydesign.com. The pastor at a San Francisco Episcopal Church says he will not apologize for having a Beyonce-themed mass last weekend. And he shouldn't have to apologize. If he's the one that gets to put together the theme, then let him do it. And if you don't like it, what are you
a
laughing at?
Beyonce-themed mass?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
How
but
on earth?
It probably made sense somehow. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just saying. I know a pastor at a church that I absolutely adore. They did a Rolling Stones theme, and it wasn't just one service. It was like for a month leading up to Easter, and at that time is when they rolled away the stone. See?
Well, at least that makes sense.
So they had one whole sermon that was about Start Me Up, and it was like every one of them had something to do with the Rolling Stones. So I could see that. So I don't know what this one was, but I could definitely see that. Prince William is in the news. He officially signed the birth certificate for his new child. This is probably 3 or 4 days old at least. I got to find some new stuff. How about this one? T-Mobile is buying Sprint. That's from last week.
You told me that.
Heidi, all of this stuff is... I got to dig up some new things, don't I? By the way, if you're wondering how much T-Mobile paid for Sprint, it's the unlimited plan for just $26 billion. So
That's insane.
So now you and I have Sprint. So does that mean that you and I now have T-Mobile? Is that how that works?
I would assume so. As soon as the change takes
When
place.
this story came out last week, it was sent to me, and again, I'm going to have to go through and dump a bunch of stuff again. I get so backed up because we don't have room for all the things that people send.
I really love
Thanks for
Sprint,
sending
so
stuff,
I
by
hope
the way.
that they don't mess with a bunch of stuff.
I hope not. A Georgia doctor was arrested after she threatened to slit the employees' throats and cut their heads off.
Whoa.
And we're going to just stop right at this one because I've got the rest of this story. I got to scroll down here because remember I asked you, I said, did I already read this? I got to find the rest of the story here because it's quite the interesting tale. So, again, this happened right here. Doctor in Georgia has been charged with making terroristic threats after she allegedly threatened to slit her employees' throats and cut off one of their heads.
Wow.
So I think just one person's head, not that her employees have two heads. Marian Antoinette Patterson, you can't even make this stuff up, a family practice doctor who's worked at Valdosta area for about 30 years now, allegedly shouted a slew of threats at her employees, and authorities responded that when this happened to the disturbance, they showed up there. I should have pre-read all this, shouldn't I? They said that she was making these threats. I'm going to quit saying what she said because it just sounds pretty gross. And one person said that she even told me she was going to cut my head off and roll it down the hallway.
Wow.
And she called the employees' children to show. And she said, then I'll call the employees' children and show them. So anyway, the doctor grabbed at least one employee and threw a catalog and a reflex hammer and prescription bottles and other things at other people.
Does it say what caused this?
Tried to throw a large potted plant, but apparently couldn't pick it up. I don't know. Patterson tossed water on 2 employees. She's been charged with 3 counts of terroristic threats and false imprisonment.
Holy cow.
So it does not say, they didn't fetch her the coffee. No, I don't know. It doesn't say. I have no clue. What would be a response? Is there anything at all that would call for that kind of response? Is there anything at all that you can think of that would make any of that justified?
No.
No. So it doesn't really matter. It'd be great to know what they did to make her so mad, but I don't think there's anything.
Something horrible happened.
Some sort of trigger. She's been there for 30 years, so, this is 30 years worth of stuff all flying out at once, apparently. And I'm going to throw one last thing in, because I can't end on that. For those of you who have always wondered, what's better, white bread or wheat bread? The answer is, Heidi?
Well, better for you or better to eat?
I'm just asking, what's better?
Better for you would be wheat.
Well, what if I told you were wrong? A study by the Weizmann Institute of Science found that white bread has the same health effect as wheat bread, and that one is not healthier than the other. So there.
What about whole grain?
Didn't put that in the study, so I don't know.
Because whole grain is what we've been buying.
I like it. I like it a lot.
The kids do not.
No, they don't. The Weizmann Institute is who you're going to have to reach out to. Call them today and say, just when they answer, say, what about whole grain?
Don't even explain yourself.
I'm sure they're getting
Whoever answers the phone, I'm sure knows exactly what that means.
They're getting plenty of calls on it, I'm sure. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
John and Heidi.
Do you have ideas for t-shirt designs, but you don't have a clue how to print them? Or maybe you'd like to have t-shirts and coffee mugs available to buy online with your business logo printed on them. There's a website that makes it easy. We set ours up in about 10 minutes. There's no sign-up fee, no minimum orders, no monthly fees. It's just a really easy way to put some cool items online for sale, and you get paid every time somebody buys them. You don't have to print or ship anything. Just sign up, upload your designs, and then let people know where they can get your cool stuff. More details available at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
And it's time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We pick up the phone and we call my father-in-law for a little thing we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie.
It's Tuesdays with Charlie. He'll give us some guff. We talk each week and we learn fun stuff. Everyone loves him. He makes us laugh. Sometimes he's wrong, then he fires his staff. Get ready to learn some things. Here we go. It's Tuesdays with Charlie on the John and Heidi Show.
How you doing, Charlie?
It's a beautiful day.
Well, what kind of cool stuff we going to learn about today, Charlie?
Every year, more than 6,000 Americans are treated in emergency room for injuries incurred from attempts to open plastic packages.
No kidding.
I could see that. Have you ever, especially toys nowadays, the way toys are packaged, you need a knife and a saw.
Screwdriver. They do. They have them bolted in there and you got to unscrew it. It's crazy. They don't want that toy to accidentally fall out.
So dangerous.
Well, that's why I don't buy any kids any toys.
There you go. That's the benefit of
It's a
us,
safety issue.
of all of us growing up, because now, our kids are old enough where we don't buy them toys anymore. So someday, if our kids ever get around to having kids for us, so we have grandkids, then we can buy it. But we wouldn't be the ones to open it. Our kids would be
That's
the ones
right.
to open it.
But have you seen our kids? I
Yeah.
wouldn't trust either one of them with the tools it takes to open those packages.
Our poor grandchildren someday will never get to play with their toys.
The average glass bottle contains over 25% recycled glass.
Really? That's cool.
And then did you know that they grind up old bottles?
Yeah.
And you know what they call it, processed sand?
Okay.
So if you've ever played golf on a golf course with nice sand bunkers,
Yeah.
you know what that is? It's ground up glass.
Is it really?
Huh.
Yep.
I knew that you could turn sand into glass, but I didn't know that you could turn glass into sand.
Yep, they grind it really fine, and it's really fluffy. I know because I'm in the sand traps a lot.
He just brings a beach towel when he goes golfing.
A little beer and a beach towel. And hey, then, did you know that ripping off a Band-Aid is a lot easier when it is soaked in vodka?
Really? And it's also less painful if you're soaked in vodka.
That would be true.
The vodka dissolves the adhesive on it, so it comes off easier.
Okay.
So why don't you just drink vodka and rip that baby off?
There you go, apparently.
It won't hurt for very long.
If you would have to soak your wound though in vodka in order to get the bandage. I would think that would hurt with
I don't know.
whatever your wound was underneath that.
Well,
That would hurt like crazy.
maybe they're assuming that the wound is healed at this point. That's why you're removing the bandage.
But you have to change your bandage.
You drink enough of it, just rip it off.
That's right.
I don't think that's what they mean, but we'll go with that. Well, are you ready for a question from us, Charlie?
Okay, well, let's do that.
All right, here's a good question for you. Where would you find a shrimp's heart? Which body part would you find a shrimp's heart?
In his butt.
No, it's in his head. A shrimp's heart is in his head.
How does that work?
I don't know.
I've never really thought much about the anatomy of a shrimp.
Nor have I. But the world was wondering, and now we know.
So where's his brain at?
Probably in his butt. I don't know. It doesn't say that. Or maybe his heart and his brain are, right next to each other in his head.
Well, that means I can pretty much eat shrimp and don't have to worry about eating anything but shrimp.
Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure. I don't know if I think their head is gone by the time it makes it out to eat, the part to eat, isn't it?
I don't know anything about shrimp at all. I have no idea. I don't even know what a shrimp looks like except for when it's on a plate. So I have no idea.
I don't think they're breaded in nature.
Breaded and fried.
This deep fried shrimp. He just waved at me. I don't think that's how it works. Well, Charlie, as always, it is a pleasure to chat with you. We'll talk again next week. Bye, Charlie.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, Fluff.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can. It's a little program we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
it's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough. Available now on Amazon or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Fun fact, first thing is I get to apologize. Apparently we had an incorrect fact last week.
Oh.
I got this email on Friday. I forgot to mention it yesterday, so I figured I better do it here. By the way, thank you so much. I don't know for sure. I think it's Mike, but then somewhere else it said Johnny. So I think Mike, but in the email address it had Johnny. So either way, thank you for sending this. Here's the email. He says, some fun facts, some true fun facts about pigs. Remember we said pigs can't look up?
Yeah, you said pigs can't look up.
Okay, that's the fun fact that I read off the internet. But this guy said, fun fact for you, John, you're wrong. That's not quite. He said, they very certainly can look up. First one bites you, then you'll know it. He says they have teeth. They look like a set of human dentures when they smile, which is funny. because when you walk up to a hog pen, 10 of them look at you and smile at you. The reason they're smiling is because they're hoping you'll climb in with them so they can bite and stomp you to death and fight over the scraps.
Holy
Hogs
cow.
are only outdone by possum on viciously killing anything. And then he said a body in a hog pen would be completely gone in the morning. And then he does say hogs physically are more like humans than any other animal, heart valves, etc. Morally, though, who knows? Something to think about. And then I replied to him and told him thank you for sending that. And I let him know, hey, I just got this off the internet, so thanks for letting me know it was wrong. And then he replied and said, thanks for the reply. Here's a real fun fact. Crows and ravens. Oh, I'll say it this first. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Crows and ravens mate for life. They're also the only species that communicate with other birds. It says birds that talk to mammals. When they find a single deer or elk or whatever sick or cut from the herd, they search for the nearest wolf pack and they cry. And the wolves know that, so they'll go and eat them, and then the birds get the scraps.
Oh.
So there you go. That was a lot of fun facts.
Well, there you go.
I just want to let you know, at this program, it's not that we don't care and we just read things willy-nilly. We just don't know, and we read things willy-nilly. But once we know, we'll make sure we fix it. So thank you for sending that. We appreciate it. This has been a couple of fun facts, courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day, waggish. Have we talked about this one? I don't think we have we?
So.
Waggish.
I don't think so.
Waggish. I'm just looking here because I'm seeing that we've done a lot of these. This one is from April 30th. I don't think we've done this. Here's the problem. I read these ahead of time thinking, oh, we should talk about that on the radio tomorrow. And then when I look back, I go, have I already read this on the radio or did I just read it to myself?
And remembered it.
I don't believe we've read this one, though. Waggish. It is an adjective, waggish, humorous in a playful, mischievous, or facetious manner. Facetious manner. After I spelled it out, then I knew that word. Also, resembling a characteristic of a wag, done or made in waggery or for sport, silly and playful. I don't think it's fair that you use a root word in the definition of the word. I mean, waggish cannot mean characteristics of a wag, can it?
It shouldn't.
Done or made in waggery. That doesn't really seem fair, grandiloquent word people. Either way, I have this, waggish, as today's grandiloquent word.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now, some weird news for you. On a Tuesday, a Canadian man who robbed Tim Hortons was busted after attempting to use a Halifax ferry as a getaway vehicle. Hey, driver, floor it. We're in a ferry. We're going to float away at a very slow pace. What are you talking about? Halifax Regional Police responded to a robbery at a Tim Hortons where they said a male suspect claimed he had a firearm and demanded money from the staff. After the alleged heist, police say the suspect boarded a transit ferry, allegedly attempted to make a getaway across the harbor. His alleged plan was foiled when police contacted the transit and asked them to return with the ferry, and the man was arrested at the ferry terminal at Dartmouth. Without incident, police were unable to find a firearm. So either he didn't really have one,
or he threw it overboard
when he claimed that he had one, or he threw it overboard. So I guess we'll all just have to wonder forever. We may never know.
We may never know.
This has been a weird news story, courtesy of 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, your moment of duh. A man in Lubbock, Texas, took out his aggression on a McDonald's drive-thru window after learning that they would not be able to fulfill his breakfast order.
What is wrong with people?
People get a little too upset
They
about
love their
food.
fast food.
Yeah. This is like the 19th story we've talked about in the last year where somebody's done something like this. This angry McDonald's patron arrived at a restaurant shortly before 4 a.m.
Okay.
So 4 a.m.
Sure.
It's early. And this was on a Monday. He attempted to order some biscuits and gravy at the drive-thru. A worker said, I'm sorry, we're temporarily closed in order to reset the computer system. Could you come back in 20 minutes? And he said, oh, yeah, I'll do that. He came back in 20 minutes with a baseball bat.
Oh, my gosh.
To settle a score with the drive-thru window. Security footage from outside this McDonald's show this man marching back and forth toward the restaurant, taking a few swings at the window. An employee inside was reportedly able to get out of the way before the window broke. Police are still looking for the suspect, or at least they were when I got this story.
Gosh.
He was seen in surveillance footage wearing shorts, a T-shirt, and what appears to be a backwards baseball cap. So, there you go. Not a good plan. Next time, just come back in 20 minutes and order your biscuits and gravy.
I didn't even know McDonald's had biscuits and gravy.
I don't know. I'll have to try. You know what? I'll have to try that.
I don't know.
Maybe that's why they wanted him to wait. Gonna have to whip something up for you here. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
it's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough, available now on Amazon, or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
John and Heidi.
Time now for Fake News or Florida. You ready for this story today, Heidi?
I am ready.
All right, see if you can get this one right. This is either fake news, like made up on the spot, or could be something that really happened in Florida. A man called 911 during a police chase and asked to speak with Donald Trump. Fake news, or did this really happen in the great state of Florida?
Florida.
It is a true story. That did really happen in the great state of Florida. A man called 911 during a police chase and asked to talk to the president. They did not put him through, by the way. No. We're going to squeeze one more in here. Fake news or Florida. A woman renewed her wedding vows with a Ferris wheel named Bruce. Did she really renew her wedding vows with a Ferris wheel named Bruce, or did I make this up?
Fake news.
Wrong. Florida. It did truly happen.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, boy. This is some fun stuff here. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show, and thank you to everybody who keeps sending me the Florida stories. We've got these. If you want to click on the links and read the stories, in our show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and our good news today is courtesy of Odiva. It's a monthly subscription service just for the ladies. All of the details at radiosavings.com. I like this headline. Police officer adopts homeless mother's opioid-addicted newborn. So this is a sad story with a happy ending. And I'm going to have you, since I have all my stuff here blocking the screen so Heidi can't see it, I'll move that. Take a look. Doesn't he just look like one heck of a nice guy?
He does look like a very, very nice man.
Look at that itty-bitty tiny little baby there. Aww. So there is a video on here if you want to click and watch the video. I'm not going to do that because we're kind of trying to tell the story to the people. But this police officer... Oh, come on. I didn't want that thing to start. Yeah, I'm going to just turn the volume down. There we go. This police officer walked over and saw a lady and a man who are homeless, and they're sleeping in a tent, and they're set up next to a highway. And when he walked over, they were just getting ready to do drugs. And he confronts them and says something to them about this. And this lady is addicted to meth. Her name is Crystal, which is, I thought, kind of ironic. Isn't it called crystal meth?
Yeah.
And she's pregnant at the time.
Oh.
So she's literally pregnant while this is happening. The story was on CNN, so it was CNN that put it on the internet, and that's where I've got my link to their story. But it is such an amazing story here because this police officer adopted the baby. Now, the baby is addicted to opioids at birth because of the way the baby was raised. So there is a long road ahead for this baby and the whole family that's involved. Now, this all started quite a while back. It says here, when does it say? September 23rd is when this happened.
Okay.
So the story, that's when he first met her, and she was pregnant at the time. So baby is born now, and the police officer and his family adopted this baby.
Wow.
I just think it's a really cool story. And this is one of those stories where you really hope that more people would share this and more people would talk about this. We need good news out there. And that's why we always try to wrap up our show with the good news. Something positive that came out of something that wasn't necessarily positive to start. And you're seeing his badge cam, or what do they call that? Body cam?
Yeah, the body
You're seeing
cam.
the body cam footage of when he went up and met this lady. So, again, it's a heartbreaking story, but a very happy ending. And I've got a link to it in our show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great Tuesday. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
Time now for a bonus break on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We got a special guest joining us. Don Ditzhazy is with Keystone Meats, and this is a special month. It is National Beef Month. Don, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Very good. It's time to celebrate National Beef Month.
You know, Beef Month should be celebrated every month because I'll tell you what, although we do look at May as that big push in beef, but there's like 800,000 ranchers and cattle producers in the U.S., so it's a big month, and it employs many people.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk a little bit about some fun facts about National Beef Month and beef itself.
We smile when we think beef and everybody eats it, but it is true. Every day at least 76 million Americans eat beef. But, you know, I look at it, and it's just not a deliciousness of the beef. There's an important dietary sources of iron with that. You know, for instance, to get the same amount of iron found in just 3 ounces serving of beef, you would have to eat at least 3 cups of raw spinach.
Really?
Yeah, there's that iron that is a benefit. And, you know, and as we approach Memorial Day, you know, is the number one beef day, which is kind of obvious. It's a kickoff of the grilling season, I guess, in many parts of the country. So that is the biggest meat consumption is Memorial Day.
Very nice. Now, what are some proper ways to celebrate National Beef Month? I'm going to guess by eating some beef, right?
Yeah, you know, it's, you know, and we all like to grill and everything, but sometimes we don't have time for that, you know, and at Keystone Meats, we truly believe, let's, you know, bring recipes and let's bring families together by, you know, cutting prep time in half and things like that. And you don't have to do these big elaborate meals. And Keystone it's pre-cooked, recipe ready, premium meat in a can. So it's 2 ingredients, just sea salt and meat. So, you know, mom and dad are rushing around a little bit, and it's a perfect time to say, you know what, let's pull this out of the pantry and do a very quick meal, because it's better to sit with the family than do all this prep time as families waiting to eat. And that's really our mantra that we've been doing since 1964.
And it's worked really well for you, and I can tell you why, because in addition to convenience, you've got some great flavor in that can as well.
Oh, yeah, you know, USDA, and we talk beef, yes, and then we have ground beef as well, and pork and chicken and turkey. But it's so convenient, you know, and I love grilling, you know, but if it's rainy or, again, you're running out of time, or you're on a picnic or on a campsite or something, hey, you open that can up and it's all ready to go. And that's the big thing. It's convenience. As our busy lives collide a little bit, it's the convenience to sit down.
Nice. Now, what are you guys doing at Keystone Meats to celebrate National Beef Month? Do you guys have anything special you're doing there?
Yeah, actually, kind of a fun, quirky little quiz, entry, a little contest. What's your beef in the kitchen? And it's fun because everybody, you know, it's whether it's too long, you know, wasting food or freezer burn, you know, having meat come out of the freezer. But you go to KeystoneMeats.com, you can play a little quiz, and you select what's your beef in the what's that fail in the kitchen, and as you select it, you enter to win a year's worth of Keystone Meats, and that's not so bad, you know. But it also gives you tips as you go through. If you over-season your meal, what's tips not, you know, to take that away, or you know, how do you help in grocery planning and all that. So it's a fun little quiz. You can win some prizes, and also you learn something, so that's not so bad.
Very cool. And you guys have some beefy recipes for National Beef Month on your website, too.
Sure do. Real quick, and everything, most of our recipes are under 20 minutes because of that prep time is essentially disappears with Keystone Meats. But, you know, Southwest roast beef and cheddar sandwiches, and one of my favorites because it's so quick is the barbecue beef sandwiches. Open up a can, your favorite barbecue sauce and buns, and bam, you have a quick, very quick, easy meal. But there's so many different recipes on the website you can choose, and then we always look for you know, consumers and shoppers will say, you know what, I have a recipe here that I'm going to use Keystone Meats. And we'd love to get it because we'd love to put it in, you know, give attribution, say, hey, this consumer so-and-so out of this state, you know, gave us this recipe, and we highlight it. We love it.
That's really cool. Well, Don, thank you again for taking time to chat with me. I absolutely love Keystone Meats because it's one of those things that, like I said before, not only is it convenient, it tastes really good too. So those are two things that are really important to me. I want it to taste good, of course, but I also, you know, convenience really matters too. So I think you guys have got a great thing. Where can folks find Keystone Meats?
You know, Walmart and many local grocers in the area will carry Keystone. And if they don't, I always say, you know, just ask the grocery manager. They'll love to accommodate consumers, but also online, you know, through Amazon or KeystoneMeats.com. You can order cans or any of your favorites out. So either any of the places. Of course, we're on Facebook and all that good stuff, too.
Very nice. Don, have a great day, sir.
Thank you very much.
Again, Don is with Keystone Meats, and it is National Beef Month, so we can celebrate by enjoying some beef in a can, and it's really, really good stuff. I'm going to throw a link to that in our show notes blog at johnandheidishow.com. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.